So I'm going to read you 3 strongly narrative-driven poems, and they were written probably 35 years ago, so it's not how I write now, which is much more opaque. But they're still entertaining and interesting, finely wrought, and I believe I might have sent some of these to the New Yorker. I'm pretty sure they'll all fail. But anyway, here we go. The first one is called The Aunts. The aunts. It is impossible to say how many there are. They are a continuum, a weird sisterhood. It's not easy to discern one from the other. Some have faces like your mother at different phases of her life, variations on the same agony. This one with a bigger hook nose, this one who's already pepper grey from too many suns and the blight of whiskey. These are the real ones, the most hated, because they know all your mother's secrets, like back alleys. So there's no fooling them. There's an air of superiority whenever they grace the room, which is rarer these days, since your grandmother died and no one bothers so much observing the little rituals. They're from the better side of the tracks and exhibit a kind of finery not found in Kelmscott. When they visit, they have to move down a rank and muck in with the commoners, 10 train stops out of town, but they always come chauffeur-driven by their husbands, like the Queen. One sends an auspicious wave, working her removal like knitting. She is the one who looks down over her glasses, sherry in hand. She is the bitter one, the last say on morals, who gave your mother hell because of her Elizabeth Taylor looks. Or so the story goes. Then there's the spiritualist with the advanced soul, who brings vials of stone tasting water, to cure whatever ails you, who chants mantras as she focuses her third eye. They eat scones and talk theosophy. She's been married several times, and she's the most liberated of the lot. Even counting the aunties that aren't aunties, those orphans brought in from the cold. We keep getting introduced. It's like a private club sometimes, and I'm the unwilling guest. Eve with her German husband, dark as sin, hears, but she's the original English rose, painting eggs that she gives us at Easter. Blood is thinner than water, my mother says, as if in confirmation of something she'd known all these years. But even these aunts disappear, wax and wane like the tides, so you can't remember their names. Your mother holds them closer and closer to herself, like the lovers she never had. The crushed lavender perfumes smell, their wine-dark eyes, so chintz these aunties, in their thin bones, their diaphanous decorum. It makes you want to cry. So they are quite lengthy poems, but here's another one. It's called The Guinea Pigs. Always the engineer, my brother built cages for them, from a sheet of wire and an old pine cupboard, each worn shelf compartment for those little lives that would endure summers of heat in the claustrophobic shed and various bacterial diseases. My sister tended to them like nurse, filling and refilling the bowls with root vegetable offcuts, shoots, fibrous hindrance to sharp teeth that could turn on you in a wink, given half the chance. She clipped their claws, taming what was wild, and instead of the clanging of prisoners' chains in this Alcatraz, the ringing of water on ball bearing and the pipes from which they drank, thirsty as dromedaries. Gums also worn thin on the cool metal of their interventions, a strict breeding program overseen by selective mating. Never mind who made friends or tried between slats in that steamy edifice. Only pedigrees shone like diamonds, earned rounds of admiration, Biology as accomplishment, not surprising in a human world. They'd sell at $10 apiece, silver agoutis, pink-eyed creams, Sheltie or Abyssinian, no aberrations allowed. Every 3 days the hay had to be changed. That was my job, to scrape out every last lingering whiff of pellet poo, so I got used to their wet smell, their squeaking. I felt we could almost communicate. There was a trust between us, no accident. I was careful to hold them right, not squash them under my weight. Plied with lettuce, they loved me back. They too dreamed of escape. Life was a long haul of lengthening shadows under the thatched roof my father built. A quarter of them went out claws first. Where a businessman sees dollar signs, my brother and sister saw jeans, a factory of fur and soft pink noses. Checking the statistics one by one, like doctors measuring the lengths of each specimen, they spoke with calculation. Already run one to an adult world of product, risk, gain. Reached their steely conclusions. Nightly, I'd dream my transformation, a kind of revenge, entering into the frail body of the runtiest, whose muscles I'd enliven like smelling salts, the matted fur of my head, newly formed, teeth grinding at the wire, while unchecked, my star-like eyes bent on future grass of limitless expanse, biding my time, a circus lion, but with an intent like a slow sharpening of knives. And here's the last one. This one's a bit more rigorous. It's called Economies. Economies. 1. My mother's pain was like a feast, set down on the table for everyone to eat. There was a lot to go around. She watched as we spooned mouthfuls of nails to our lips, and her eyes said, "Swallow." She was always losing her edges. To me, she seemed a miracle. How she could withstand a battery of pain. She was her own Trojan horse entering that battleground. Only the little army of insurgents got stuck inside her, turned against each other. The disembodied woman. When the hot iron fell sharp point first on her foot, she filed it away without comment. Childbirth was as clean as a dream. She might have enjoyed it, smiling beatifically, as if each one of us were an eel slipping out of an envelope of flesh. Pain was the language she had never forgotten, an ancient tongue, and just as ceremonial. She was its high priestess. Her own mother had seen her curly-haired brother burned to death at the age of 3, and never breathed as much as a sigh. She moved through each moment like a gas. She almost died herself so many times. My mother was her last great risk, flying acrobat. In spite of hemorrhaging kidney collapse, she lived. Born in the sincere anesthesia of hospital, no bigger than Thumbelina, 2 months premature, fed on Bovril till she resembled something real against all odds. 2. For some it is a matter of faith. She was like a firewalker herself. Her abilities held an awe that appalled. The black eyes she nursed like triumphs or proofs, going back to my father again and again. 3. It was her voice that held the true meaning of pain. Hard to disguise, it haunted with its quavering modulations. A voice that almost gave her fame on 1950s radio, but which she gave up for finer things, ringing it out while she chopped and shredded and chopped and squared vegetables in the kitchen for every meal. She was very frugal, saved every last bit of taste. 4. Through pain she became her own Egyptian queen. The beautiful woman has come. She taught me to hold it in, like learning to breathe underwater, submerge my whole body so the outside grew wrinkled and bland as a prune. Like her, I wear my smile like a tight seam. I make her proud. I hold my head high. With a victory salute, I say, goodbye, pain. Thanks for everything. And this is the last one, and it's pretty odd. The Transfiguration. 1. A presence. A will locked in against itself, moving about the house. It crept into our veins, nibbled away at our eyes, making demands, meted out in the blood of others. 2. Mother watered the rose bushes, trimmed back the hydrangeas, gave us a view of the street. Sunlight poured into the house. It must have been fate. Coincidence just can't account for it. How, through all this light, things appeared thought never to have existed. An acrid smell or stain that couldn't be lifted. There were too many gaps and not enough pictures. So many lumps in the carpet. 3. We knew the value of secrets. All those dinners, hands clasped in grace, mother's face tight with mild embarrassment, the crinoline wrinkled, the silverware clouded with breath. 4. A strange wind blew from the south, a wind without season, many voices of ice. Cold, cold wind unleashed from the heart, whispering among ventricles left and right. It came from mother's mouth, though she didn't expect it. Whenever she tried soft words, the enamel of her teeth crazed into jagged geometrics under each breath. Coffee grains stuck to spoons by invisible threads. Dewdrops formed on her forehead. So that's it. It's not a triptych. It's 4 pieces. They were written a long time ago, and I doubt that they'll make the filter of the New Yorker, but maybe one of them will. I'm guessing Economies, but we'll see, because who am I? I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? There's a pair of us. Don't tell. They'll banish us, you know. Thanks, Emily.